good, actually. That's good. That's not good. That's not good. That's good. You never saw that before, right? That's what a gabbro looks like. It's dark, super big phaneritic crystals. Yes, good call. Basalt, good? No. I'll ask you, what's the difference between this and this?
It was so hard.
Ah! They're both basalts.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Good call there, good call there, good call there. Okay, these guys. All right, so you got to go back to the drawing board on these guys. So one of them is, one or two are diabase, one or two are diorite, one or two are rhyolite, and one or two are andesite. So, yeah.
I think
What do you think?
wait, let me see.
Well,
There was
first of
one
all-
that I knew was diorite.
You think it's diorite?
This.
Or which one of these two? Diorite would be a coarser crystal, right? Does anybody have their igneous diagram? That you can't forget, just use this thing. Look at the igneous, very helpful. See? So it turns out that the diorite, okay, you have basalt, diorite, but that's the coarsest. So which of these is coarser, do you think?
Maybe
This is coarse, and what would you call it? Light, medium, or dark?
medium
So there you go, coarse, medium, so this is a,
diorite.
there you go. Okay.
Doesn't it say no quartz? And then that one looks like it has some.
Did you think there was quartz in there? Might be, it's allowed to have a little bit, but there's not too much.
Oh,
Okay, so that is a diorite. Now, if you remember, is this light, medium, or dark? It's dark. Is it, you call this basalt, which has what kind of texture? Aphanitic. But would you call this is clearly a little coarser than aphanitic, but is it totally phaneritic? Is it easy to see? So it's in between aphanitic and phaneritic. There is a rock in between aphanitic and phaneritic. It's diabase, right? You see the texture is right in between aphanitic and phaneritic. So this is there, right? Okay. So it leaves us with two others. Yeah, you put andesite there now. Medium tone, fine texture. And these are both rhyolite. Now you're talking. Now, the rhyolite hint, and it's kind of, this is a good piece of it. You see how rhyolite is kind of light in color, but you see it's got these little phenocrysts that like sparkle at you. And sometimes they even grow a little bit bigger. And that's mentioned on your new diagram and on your old diagrams. But that's kind of sometimes, rhyolite's a tough call, but that's how you might do it. So you are,
Has a little heft too, right? Like low heft.
yeah, it's a lighter, it's like a, it's not really a pumice, but you're right, it's a real lighting construct. I have a story I could tell you. I worked on projects in Alaska, and in that area, it's like remote. You literally, on a project, when you're building a highway in northern Alaska, you don't pick up the phone and order it from a quarry pit. There's no quarry pit for 500 or 600 miles. So you literally have to blast the rock out of the mountain and then crush it on site and use it to build your road. And the only thing we had available was rhyolite. And guess what? It's not very good for aggregates. Because what was happening is we crushed it down to size and we used it for the base course of our roadway. And then we used our big vibratory compactor. And guess what the vibratory compactor did? It broke it all up. So it started out at spec gradation. By the time we compacted it, it was smaller than spec. So we had to literally crush it bigger and let it like crush into spec. It was like crazy. So I'll never use rhyolite again. So don't use that as an aggregate.
What's a telltale sign of andesite?
Well, andesite, medium tone, you kind of say what's medium, what's light, what's dark. Well, that's not a bad call.
Slightly lighter than diorite.
Well, it could even be. It almost is, it should be diorite. As you can see, they should both be the same tone.
It's just more aphanitic than diorite.
Right. More. This is even starting to get a little bit coarse, right? You're seeing a few minerals there, but a lot of andesites will be just like a basalt grain, but they'll be medium. But this is honestly, as you pointed out, probably this belongs between these two as far as coarseness. It's probably a coarse andesite.